Evan's eyes narrowed, gun still raised, though he could feel his grip tighten instinctively. "Funny," he replied, his voice steady despite the tension crackling in the air. "I was about to say the same thing." The man in the black scarf tilted his head slightly, as if amused. Behind him, the gang shifted uneasily, unsure whether to raise their weapons again or remain frozen under their leader's control. "Evan?" Kira's voice was barely audible, her eyes darting between the barrels and the figures ahead. She was waiting for a signal, a plan, anything. The scarfed man took a step forward, hands behind his back, his movements measured and deliberate. "Do you even know what you're interfering with, detective? Or are you just a moth drawn to the flame, hoping to extinguish it before it burns you alive?" Evan didn't answer. His gaze flickered to the blueprints on the table. Subway routes, crisscrossed with markings, circled areas he recognized as heavily trafficked stations. Whatever they were planning, it was big. Too big. "Let me guess," the man continued, his tone almost conversational. "You think you're the hero here, that this is just another case, another gang to put behind bars, but you've stumbled into something far beyond your understanding." Suddenly, the sound of distant sirens cut through the night, faint but growing louder. The scarfed man chuckled softly. "Ah, it seems we've run out of time. No matter, this will only delay the inevitable." Evan's finger twitched on the trigger, but before he could fire, the lights in the warehouse went out, plunging them into darkness. Kira gasped as the chaos erupted again. Shouts, hurried footsteps, and the deafening roar of gunfire. "Kira, stay low!" Evan shouted, ducking as a bullet whizzed past his ear. His eyes adjusted to the faint light from the alley outside, just enough to see the scarfed man retreating through a side door, his silhouette ghost-like in the shadows. "He's getting away!" Kira called out, crawling to Evan's side. "I see him." Evan darted forward, dodging crates and barrels, his pulse hammering in his ears. The scarfed man glanced back once, his eyes gleaming with an unsettling calm, before disappearing into the rain. Evan reached the door, gun raised, and burst through it into the alley. But the man was gone. All that remained was a faint whiff of cigar smoke and a single subway token glinting on the wet ground. Kira caught up, breathing hard. "Evan, what now?" He stared at the token in his hand, the embossed logo catching the faint neon glow. "We're not stopping," he said, his jaw set. "Not until we find out what they're planning." Above them, the city hummed with its usual chaos, oblivious to the storm brewing beneath its streets.